One thing about me, I'm a I'm a light Yagami apologist.
Period. He should have took them all out.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Hey, this is Cherry Notes. We're a podcast about music. My name's Emma.
I'm Soul, and we talk about K-pop and music and life.
And sometimes we talk about anime and whatever the hell we want, actually.
Right.
This is We Make the Law. Shout out Ingrid, our intern. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. But you know what? It's okay. Better late than never.
And you guys aren't even ready for the new Cherry Notes this year.
Nope.
We getting that Beyonce let me upgrade ya.
We're going to get a new logo. We're going to get our website. We're going to get an email.
Sponsorships.
Interviews.
Music festivals.
Yup. Festisodes are coming back. And this time, Embo will be there. I won't be by myself.
I'm gonna try, as in, I will try to participate. Physically, I will be there.
Physically, I will be there in one way or another.
I send the emails.
Right.
You talk. We got an extrovert over here.
Apparently, y'all, I retook my MBTI test after not taking it for years and years. And then I was, ISFP for the longest time. And now I'm ENFP.
Which means we're perfect for each other. We already knew that, though.
Yes.
I've been an INFP since 6th grade. It's the first time I took it. I take it probably every 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've never changed.
I was just shocked because I was like, I'd never thought of myself as an extrovert. And then I looked at like the percentages supposedly, and I'm only like 53% extroverted. That doesn't mean like I'm a brand new person. I feel like I'm the exact same. I'm a little bit more out of my shell now than I was.
Yeah, but
before.
you also changed from S to N.
What does that mean?
Didn't you say you were ISF?
Yeah, I was ISFP.
Now you're ENFP.
Yeah.
So you switched from S to N.
And what did that mean?
You didn't read it?
No.
No.
I only read like the summary at the very top, and I was like, cool.
So like it's sensing versus intuition. So like sensing is like just concrete facts, like you take stuff for how it is and like what's in front of you, and then intuition is more of like a feeling and like gutsy, like following your gut kind of thing.
I see.
In your mental.
Ingrid not responding, so she probably busy.
Doing what?
I don't know. Another extrovert, mind you.
Extremely
extroverted. You're gonna be in my presence for like 12 days. Isn't that crazy?
God bless.
God bless. It's gonna be great.
I was thinking about how this will be the longest amount of time I've like stayed with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking about how insane, one, it's gonna be, and two, that withdrawal gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Y'all ever had friendship? This shit worse than drugs.
We are celebrating your birthday and Dina's birthday at the same time. 2 for 1.
And then psychic fever?
Yep. And then nothing.
Well, for you.
For me. Then Valentine's Day, and then you have Espatamen.
But what about our non-resolutions? I kind of do have resolutions, but they're not like resolution. It's not like one thing. It's like I want to change my whole life. My main goals are, I was talking to Frankie actually because he posted that thing and he goes, be able to 2 miles. There's like a typo in it. And I said, be able to 2 miles. Me too, buddy. And I want to be able to run a mile in 12 minutes.
And I'm gonna be so real, haven't been able to run a mile in 12 minutes since I was in like 8th grade.
And they always tell you to do it. It's like you run a mile in like 8 minutes. It's like 8-minute mile. Like they always like say that. And I'm like, that would kill me. In high school, when we had to run the mile, I told my gym teacher, I said, listen, I'm not going to be able to do this. If you did it in 9 minutes, you got an A, and then like 10 minutes was a B, and like whatever. And as long as you finished the mile, it was like you would at least get like a C or something. I told him at the jump, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this. just so you know, like, I'm anemic, I'm prone to fainting, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Like, you gotta give me a curve or, like, just let me run as long as I have to. And he was like, well, if you don't do it within, like, 15 minutes, like, you fail. And I was like, and me? I'm like, well, fuck. Guess I gotta. And what I did, I passed out. I had to call a fucking ambulance. And my principal came outside freaking the fuck out.
Yep.
And I said, Miss Maxie, I told this motherfucker. I told his ass this was gonna happen. And he did not listen to me. I thought I was so cool though, because whenever we would like jog the track or whatever, I would listen to like Sworn In really loud in my headphones so that people thought I was like hard.
So they knew
I went to
was
like an
emo.
inner city school and was like one of 2 white people in my class, as if any of them fucking gave a fuck. At least I wasn't like the other girl in my school who listened to Black Veil Brides.
I was the girl that listened to Black Veil Brides.
I clocked myself as soon as I said it. I'm so sorry.
It's okay though. I grew out of it.
This is like a whole separate tea conversation, but it does revolve around music, so it's kind of relevant. In high school, I had a stalker. Okay. You don't know the story, I don't think.
No, I don't.
It's very long. It stretches my high school career. This girl, this is the Black Veil Brides girl.
Mm-hmm.
Again, probably one of 3 white people in my actual grade.
Right.
Not my actual school, because in my actual school, there's maybe like 10 of us.
Mm-hmm.
But like specifically my grade, it was like me, her, and this kid named Danny. I'm not kidding. It was just us. And I used to go to the Rapid Station, which is like the subway. I used to go to the Rapid Station in the morning, and like my mom would drop me off there, and I would ride to school with my friends that I used to go to middle school with. And we would all like, you know, hang out at the station, shoot the shit till we got to school. And my school was broken up into 3 sub schools. And like, I was the only one of my old group of friends that went to one school, and they all went to a different sub school. So this girl also was at this station, and we knew that she went to the school because we had to wear uniforms to the school. And like the school that my friends were in had white polos, and mine had like dark green polos, and she had a dark green polo. She had no swag. Let me tell you, no fucking swag. All right. Like, it was bad. If she ever fucking listens to this, because I know her ass keeps tabs on me.
Watch out.
Yeah. But anyway, so she was like she would like hang around us at the station, and then kind of like do that thing where like she never says anything, but just like hangs around you and like laughs at your jokes and like tries to include herself for no reason. And we were like, weird.
Yeah.
She would like follow our group when we would walk together, and we're like, who are you? Say something. Like, I don't know. And we're teenagers, so it's not like we're like, oh, like, you know, do you need friends? We're like, who's this fucking weird ass bitch who keeps following us around?
Yeah.
Time goes on, she's really quiet, don't interact with her. She like is for real like the like show off emo weird person. She'd be like on the Rapid, like fully like falling in reverse, I'm not kidding, falling in reverse, specifically Ronnie Radke like performance arting on public transit. And I'm like, Becky can attest to this. She witnessed it. Because this girl tried to make a pass at Becky's boyfriend at one point, and so they got in a beat, and like Becky's gonna say something. Of course. There was like they had beef, public beef at Tower City. I said, this shit's crazy. I gotta go. I would say the first year it was just like her being weird and shit, and like quiet kind of. So then like the second year comes around, and this bitch like hates me, but she's in my business. Like she hates me. Like she would like constantly try to get me in trouble and like fuck with my stuff, and like she was stealing stuff out of my locker and like damaging it and then returning it, and it was like school property. So one time it was a calculator, one time it was like my math book was gone, and then like this other time she like straight up stole my coat. And the thing is like we had locks on our lockers, but like the way that we had to switch between classes so fast, like people usually would just like put them on but not actually lock them, because it was like, I don't know, like everybody did that. I wouldn't normally go to my locker a ton during the day, but one time I was like actually went to my locker between like certain periods of time. So I went before lunch, and then I like came back after lunch, and my fucking coat was gone. My winter coat was missing. And so I had to go to the principal's office and be like, blah, 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 blah. It had to have happened between this time period because yada, yada. Sure enough, me and Miss Maxie, my principal, up in her room looking at the security cameras. Who took my coat? Crazy ass bitch took my coat. So then they call her in there. I've never spoken to her before, by the way. Like in person, I've never directly spoken to her. She just like has this beef with me. She used to try and like cling on to my favorite teacher, my school mom.
Mm-hmm.
So she would like try and like hang out with her all the time. I'm like, bitch, this is my mom. Can you fucking leave? Like, that's who I ate lunch with, was like
Yeah.
my English teacher.
Your emotional support English teacher.
She knew that I loved Pierce the Veil, and she would talk shit about Pierce the Veil very loudly in front of me, but she like loved Black Veil Brides, right? And she also stalked me on the internet because she would leave like mean comments and shit on my stuff, like mess with like me and my like high school boyfriend. She would like mess with us and stuff. Like, she's fucking weird. Oh, she also ruined my like calculator, like the school calculator, you know, the fucking Texas Instruments, like $200 calculators. She took scissors to the screen and like fucked it up. And we ended up finding out that that was her too, because Miss Maxey like pulled it out of her. This bitch was so embarrassed. Like, I cannot explain to you how embarrassed she was. Me, had never spoken to her. I was sitting like this. She was sitting next to me. I didn't look at her. And then Miss Maxey was like, oh, you need to apologize to her. And she was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, I didn't even look at her. I was like, can I go? I would like to, can I have my coat? Can I leave? But she had to pay for the calculator. Thank God. And then when the security guard came in, it was so funny. He was like, now why'd you take her coat? Blah, blah, blah. Do you have a coat? It was so fucking funny. I was like howling at the fact that he asked her if she had her own coat. But still in the hating phase. She was dating this ugly motherfucker from like the art school that was like right next door.
Right.
And I left school early one day, or like we had an early release from my school, and I went to the Rapid and I was like going to get on it. The train was empty because it wasn't like rush hour yet where everybody gets off work and school and shit. And so I'm on the Rapid and we get off at the same stop. The entire Rapid is like empty, and she gets on with her fugly ass boyfriend from the other school. They sit directly behind me, and she proceeds to repeatedly hit me in the back of the head, like harder and harder after each time, until eventually I turned around and I said, do you have a problem? And then I like got up and moved, but I was like, huh? And like I could hear her boyfriend being like, stop. Like, but why are you physically touching me for? And then, oh my God. But I think that was before the whole coat thing, because after the coat thing, she finally showed her true colors of wanting to be like my best friend.
Right.
She would come up to me and hug me when I would be like, all of a sudden she loves Pierce the Veil. She was like asking me where I would get my clothes and like blah, blah. She invited me over to her birthday party because unfortunately I found out that she lived like 2 streets over from where I live. But there was like, she would be in class talking about the most fucked up shit. Like, this is English class. Did you know that? Did you know where you are right now?
Did you know that we're reading like Hamlet right now? Like, did you know that?
Hey, the Grapes of Wrath. Like, I don't know. She was just such a strange individual and proceeded to literally like keep tabs on me. She was like obsessed with, what's that fucking guy from The Walking Dead with the crossbow?
Daryl?
Yeah, Daryl. She was obsessed with that guy. She would like cosplay as him and like come to school dressed like him.
That's right.
And like post pictures on her Facebook like dressed up like him. And I'm pretty sure she was a furry too. Never met a stranger person. And then she was like she like decided to be like a nail tech, but then like she also ended up working as like a manager at the local Walgreens. She was like threatening to kill me at one point on my Instagram too, and I was like, okay.
She's like the Swiss Army woman, but with the actual knife.
Because to me, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, she would like make these crazy ass like subtweet Instagram posts about me that were like, just because you're pretty doesn't mean that blah, 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 blah. Like, literally it would like be extremely detailed like things about me, but like a subtweet. And I'm like,
what'd I do? That's terrifying.
So that's my high school experience.
On behalf of Black Veil Brides fans that grew up, we're not all like that.
Thank God. And thank God.
And thank God. Listen, your girl might be un poco loco, but never that.
I saw Andy Biersack perform with the Misfits at the first APMAs, and the Misfits played 3 songs too many than they were supposed to, and it made it so that Fall Out Boy, who was headlining, could only play 1 song, and the 1 song was The Phoenix.
Hate to see it.
I did get to see Joan Jett, though, so that was cool. But, like, yeah. The Misfits, respectfully, kind of, I don't get how people can listen to that.
Like, I get...
That's garbage can music. Like banging on garbage cans.
No, for real. I think when, like, Misfits first started putting out music, like, yeah, that might have been really, really dope. But now it's like...
it's not like people who were like, I like the Smiths, because like objectively, the Smiths make good music.
They do.
We hate Morrissey.
We sure do.
The Smiths make good music. Oh my god. We suck. Just remembered he exists and I have to take a picture with him.
And we're back.
Perfect. Okay. So the other day when I was on Instagram, I'm watching people's stories, whatever. And I responded to Frankie's story of a Census Fail song. I know one Census Fail song.
Me too.
I don't know if the song that he shared was the song that I knew at the time. All I did was reply with, I'm stuck in a coma. And sure enough, that was the song. So I kind of made out. But I just thought it was really funny. Because then he went on this spiel about that music. And I was like,
My funny story of the day was, if y'all don't know, we have an intern. Her name is Ingrid. We love Ingrid.
We love Ingrid.
I was texting Ingrid earlier today, and we were talking about, I sent her like a Young video from like one of the send-offs that happened recently. And she was just talking about something. And she goes, if you really think about it, everything leads back to Young. And I said, no, for real. And she goes, like Slumdog Millionaire. And I went, right, yeah, no, I get that. And I sent a voice memo of me going, you know, I've never seen Slumdog Millionaire.
Neither.
But I understand the references when people make them. But Slumdog Millionaire is like, you know, the one with like the girl and like boxing and stuff and like blah, blah,
I thought
blah.
it was a Bollywood movie.
Hear me out. I thought that too. I thought that too. And then Ingrid sends a voice memo back and goes, I also have never seen Slumdog Millionaire. but friend, Slumdog Millionaire is about a guy in a game show. $1 Million Baby is the one with the girl and the boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went, you know what? I haven't seen either. So I don't know.
Slumdog $1 Million Baby. I do know that the soundtrack for Slumdog Millionaire is really good.
Yes, that much I do know.
One thing I know is music, even if I haven't seen the movie.
If a movie has a fire soundtrack, yeah.
Like all roads lead to Young, the same way that like you can always get to Kevin Bacon within like 2 degrees or whatever.
Yes.
Of movies.
Exactly. Isn't it crazy how I know I'm an icon, but sometimes I feel like a canon.
I've never once doubted that I'm an icon.
I know I'm an icon. Let's talk about GOT7.
Please.
I love GOT7. I'm so happy that they're back.
About GOT7.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with Kika earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
We were having just a general conversation. And I said, what if before the last 2 babies in list, they headline KCON?
Now, what if?
But then you'll be staying for a week.
Wouldn't that be something?
The deadpan expression.
Hey, Kika.
Well, yes.
Hey, Kika. I don't take up much room. I can sleep on floor. I have 1 carry-on. I can go to the laundromat down the street. You don't even got to worry about my laundry. You don't even got to worry about it. The tears forming in my eyes over the possibility.
Well, it's crazy because I was like, I think I have a feeling that NCT Dream will headline because I'm just thinking and I'm like, who else would be headlining? I don't think ATEEZ will do it. I don't think Enhypen will do it again.
No.
I definitely don't think Stray Kids is going to do it again.
P1 won't even do it again.
Well, P1 wouldn't headline.
Right.
But they have been there like for consecutive years a lot. Gravity will 100% be there, like Tara said, because of the Kingdom thing.
Yep.
I'm really gunning for NCT Wish to be there. I think Zero Base 1 will be there again.
Yes.
But I was like, okay, so I think NCT Dream will headline. I was like, I still have my fingers crossed for Key headlining. Like, I think Taemin just put in a good word. He was there 2 years in a row. Why not? Come on, Key.
Help my bro out.
And then I said, I also had the idea of Kai headlining, if not Key, because Kai will be back. And Kai was supposed to perform in LA at that weird festival thing that had like Taeyeon and stuff. And then like there were all those visa issues and like half the artists couldn't even come and perform.
Right.
So I feel like he would be down to headline. So if not Key, Kai. So then that means there's 1 more day for headliners. And the only reasonable possible thing that I can think of would be for it to be GOT7.
Listen, I need to see.
And I said there would be a dream stage with Just Right. So you just have a bunch of people up there going,
ooh, ooh.
I don't know. Imagine seeing Gerard Way and then Jackson Wang.
In the same week.
In the same week.
In the same week. Two men that formed my music tastes. For lore, context, background, for those of you that don't know, I listened to GOT7 in high school. My first bias ever was Jackson Wang. I watched the If You Do music video, and I saw a blonde man in a suit, and I said, "Who's that?" And ever since then, I loved me some GOT7. They went on hiatus. I was pretty sad, but I was like, you know what? They'll do their thing. I did not expect to be back in as deep as I am when they came back on your birthday. On your birthday, no less. Happy birthday.
On my birthday. My birthday's almost over. We only have 2 days left of my birthday.
Yes. Because when Em celebrates her birthday, it's a whole week.
Well, yes. I love Yugim's gun. I don't know. That's basically like, I'll never forget like when I was getting back into K-pop after my long break, like, and then like coming back into it during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my friend being like, "Oh, I really like GOT7, like blah blah blah, like when, like, are they gonna make more music or something?" And I was like, honestly, they're kind of like on an indefinite hiatus because of all this like JYP stuff, blah 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 blah. I was like, they're probably just gonna break up. And then I remember literally a week later they announced like Na Na Na, and I was like, holy shit. I was just like, I was shocked and I was happy because but I was just ready to. JB said, "No, I'm not giving up. I'm not fucking leaving."
I'm not fucking leaving. JB a lawyer for real.
He got it down. The way that Jongho is like a divorce lawyer.
Right.
JB got to unlock for legal issues. Like, well, that's what lawyers do, is legal issues. But
I love when a lawyer solves legal issues.
You know who's a lawyer who solves legal issues? Our good friend. Hannah.
Oh! Guys, we have to sidebar about Queen of Tears real quick. For y'all that don't watch K-dramas, let me lead you to the light, the path of righteousness. That is Queen of Tears on Netflix. Me and Emba have agreed, best show ever. She saw a show first all the way through by herself, cried many a tear.
Cried so many.
So many a tear. She was the Queen of Tears at one point. And then I watched the show, and every single time that Em had a break from work, I said, "Hey, you want to watch the show with me? Hey, you want to keep watching the show with me? That'd be great." Because there was one week where I just didn't work, and I said, "Cool, I'm watching all of Queen of Tears." And that's exactly what we did. And when it got to the last like 2-3 episodes, I had to go back to work. And I said, how am I supposed to go about my day when my good friend Hayen is about to have maybe life-saving surgery? How am I supposed to go about my day?
Spoilers, by the way.
Sorry.
I mean, it's a drama. Something's bound to happen.
It's a drama. Somebody's always in a hospital. Somebody may or may not get hit by a car.
I was just about to say that.
That white Suzuki truck will always be at the scene of the crime.
That show has everything. I feel like Stefan in SNL. New York's hottest club is Queen of Tears. This club has everything. Stalking, private investigators, car crashes, physical violence, terminal illnesses.
References to other dramas that same actors were in.
This is very true. Pathetic men.
Pathetic men.
First and foremost, pathetic men.
First and foremost, pathetic men.
Character development? Like crazy.
Yup.
Like crazy. I love starting a show being like, I hate that bitch, being like, I know I'm gonna love her.
If you're watching a K-drama and within the first episode, the main actress pisses you off because you're like, I would never be friends with her. I don't like her. That's gonna be Ohana by the very end of the show.
You better think again. It's the only K-drama I've ever watched twice. And every time I watch a new K-drama, it's just not as good.
No.
Like, I'm watching Destined with You.
Yes.
I do very much enjoy it. But sometimes stuff happens in it where I'm like,
Queen of Tears would have done this so much better.
Rolling my fucking eyes, bro. I'm like, okay. Like, you know, like I get that dramas have like these like dramatic tropes. Like I get that that's the thing. But sometimes, as you know, they go too far where it's like hysterically unbelievable. Or it's just like so cliche that you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. Where they're like, oh, it's getting kind of boring. let's make somebody sick.
Yeah. Have you ever seen What's Wrong with Secretary Kim?
I started it a long time ago and I did not finish it, but I know that I will love it because that's my girl.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you think you'll ever finish it?
Yes.
Okay. Then never mind. I will not say the thing that I wanted to say.
Okay.
But it was along the lines of tropes that are so dramatic. Like, there's no way that, like, because I feel like a lot of K-dramas, if not most of the ones that me and you have watched, are very much like, they knew each other in a past life. Or, no way, you're the same person that I met 30 years ago. Wow.
Which I get because that is very, like, a cultural part of Korea. Like, the whole, like, past life thing, which Destined With You is literally about that.
Yes.
But, like, also sometimes it's kind of crazy. I will say, one of the shows that did that extremely well and is one of my favorites is Castaway Diva. I love that show. I binge watched that shit in like 2 days. I couldn't stop. So good. It's the same actress that is Extraordinary Attorney Woo.
Yes.
And so Roan from SF9 is the main guy in Destined With You. And there's a part where they go to a karaoke thing and he like goes to sing and he's singing and I'm like, damn, I was like, he's just showing everybody up. He sounds good. And then I was like, that's because he's a singer.
That's his job.
But I also realized that I saw him at KCON last year and the male guy who was like running the red carpet was like, he like kept interrupting himself in the middle of his sentences. He's like, you are so attractive. I just like, I can't, he's like, even more so in person. And then I'm like, he really was though. He had this like tanned leather, like matching suit, kind of like Taeyong's outfit in the Pado music video.
Yeah.
But I will say in this show, he looks like, I need Dina to watch it because he, at parts where his hair is down, like he looks so much like Taeyong, like from here up, it's kind of crazy. But then every other scene when his hair is styled, he looks like Jaehyun. And he reminds me of Jaehyun, like his behavior. And I'm like, this would be very bad for her.
Yes. I feel as though she would enjoy it a lot more if you bring up that point to her, though. It's like how when we were watching Queen of Tears and we were halfway through like episode 6 or something like that, and you're like, bestie, I've been waiting to tell you this. And I said, oh no, what? She goes, you know what he reminds me of? And this might change the trajectory of the rest of the show for you. What? And you go, he reminds me of And I went, okay, that's very bad for me. And then that's when I was like, are you on break yet? Are you on break yet? I need to watch the next episode. I need to watch the next episode. And then he threw a bicycle at one point. I went, and then we replayed that like 6 times.
Just like Who is Sticker? Back to GOT7, the album that was released on my very birthday. I know I'm an icon. Like it's kind of crazy.
I have my notes.
Oh, perfect. I got it all up here.
Yeah. One of my first notes is, and this is your bias, but Yugyeom's voice itches my brain real nice.
My favorite thing to do when I'm like first watching a music video is to like predict how lines will be distributed, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I know when we watched the strategy thing, I was like, there has been zero Jiho going on. I was like, she has to have the chorus. Sure enough, she had the chorus.
Sure enough.
But after Bam Bam, I was like, please let Yugyeom have the second part of this, and then they did, and I was like the choreo for this song is so good. And then I think about like whenever I listen to it, I can't not see Jin Young doing his like running backwards like a marathon. It's so good, like every part of it. And I've watched like every stage. But the best song on the album for me, for my money, in my personal opinion, is Out the Door, and you know this. But oh my god, the Warped Tour orange flowerification of GOT7. Mark Twain, 9 out of 10 times, cannot write the best song on an album. But this time he did.
This time he gave it
hit
all.
That 10% with 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 1,000,000%.
And Mark, we love you if you want to be on the podcast because we know you listen to this.
We love Mark. Sorry.
For what?
I spoke over you.
How will you ever forgive yourself?
I don't know. I'm being so gentle around my desk. I'm like, ever since you told me, I'm like, so whenever I was putting my mug down, I was going like,
yeah, this is the second taping for the singular episode that we're going to put out soon. And it's very much like, I was editing the first taping and I texted Em and I went, you be hitting that desk like it owes you money. Like, and and I hear it every time. And she goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's not your fault. Your microphone is on the desk. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm just vibing. I gotta fidget. I have to fidget or I'll die.
It's true. I feel like they, as well as us, absolutely needed this comeback.
Jackson especially. Someone pointed this out on Twitter, the Killing Voice that they did, and how much fun and happy Jackson has been, and like in comparison to him being so kind of like stone-faced and not as like personable as he normally is.
Yeah.
And I know that like when I went to his tour a couple years ago, even in his VCRs, he was being super like vulnerable and talking about his struggles and stuff. And I think a lot of them have been going through this thing. Like we've seen like Bam Bam talk about this online, and like Mark has said stuff. Like they all have been like going through it.
Yeah.
And I know like JB was like, we're just all excited. He's like, this is more of an excuse for us all to be together than it is to like have a comeback. And we're like, yippee. And it's like, that's Ohana.
Yeah, that is Ohana for real. I watched The Killing Voice, and I was like crying throughout it, even though they were singing like na na na, and I was like just like open mouth, like tears in my eyes. But I was like, they are so happy to be together, and it shows. And I didn't want to set expectations for this album, because I personally did not want to be disappointed if it wasn't good, but they blew it out the water.
I don't even care if it was good.
Exactly. Like, I just wanted them to be together.
New GOT7 music, I don't give a fuck. It's going to be good. It's going to be good because they're together.
Exactly.
I also agree though. I think it's a perfect album. Specifically, I want to say Python is so like perfect GOT7 sounding song.
It's the perfect title track.
And yes, I want to say also that Our Youth and Tidal Wave are extremely GOT7 coded songs. Like, when I listen to Our Youth, that's like one of the reasons it stood out to me so quickly, is I was like, this is just classic GOT7 sounding music. And then Smooth, that Jackson wrote, sounds like a Jackson song.
Yep.
Literally sounds like a Jackson B-side. Love that. Remember sounds like a Yugim song that he wrote for his album and probably just didn't make it on there. But it sounds so good with all of them doing it together. And then Mark's music, like Mark's Out the Door, sounds like a fucking Mark song. Because like it's all in English. Mark's American.
Yeah. It's a very polished Mark song. I feel like a lot of his own personal songs were like good blueprints, but they weren't all the way there. And that's just like a small criticism that I have. Like, it's not that they were like really, really bad. They weren't bad. They just weren't like what I expected. And this sounds like he finally found that vibe that he was trying to portray in his solo stuff, because he had help.
Yeah, and I think that the other members and their vocal colorings and their styles or whatever really helped round it out. Like, the song, like, oh my god, I was driving in my car when I was finally like listening to the whole thing, and I got to, it's like the last chorus. Like, Yugim has a part in all of the choruses, but it's in the last chorus where Yugim is like, you don't want me to change, you don't want me to grow. When he started that part, it was like the way he was singing it, I like started crying, but also because like I just love him and I love his voice. But like that specific part was like, oh, also back to The Killing Voice very quickly. I just want to, Young Jay fucking killed that shit. Oh my god. He was like,
he was locked in the entire time.
And there was like one part where he started to like kind of laugh, and he's like, no, I gotta eat this. Oh, because he missed the first note of Not by the Moon because he was laughing at them.
Yeah.
But I was like, first of all, doing Not by the Moon on Killing Voice, and y'all are like, all the range is so high. It's the same way that like NCT Dream was doing Broken Melodies. Like, that shit is hard.
It's hard, and they're killing it. Ba-da-da-da-da.
I will say, oh my god, earlier today, I was on a work call and my boss like said something to somebody else. She's like, oh yeah, sorry. And I was like, sorry. I was like so ready to start doing this on camera, like the dance move. And I was like, no one here will understand me.
No.
But it literally was like, it was like a knee-jerk reaction that I wanted to do. And I just like couldn't. And I was like, god, no one here understands me. Take me by the hand. Oh my god, deluxe version of Keshi on 2-7.
I sent Emma a voice memo earlier of me singing Understand, and I did kind of kill it.
I gotta run it back. It was funny because you were like joking in the first half, and then you got serious with the stand. I'm not using my head voice. I can't get there.
I can't.
I got the milk phlegm.
I'm gonna play it, and if I don't like the way that it sounds, I'm gonna cut it out. Because I hit that, and then I immediately screen recorded it and sent it to everybody. Because I was like, why did this eat?
You can just copy and paste the voice memo, babe. You don't gotta screen record.
Huh?
You can copy and paste the voice memo. Why do none of my friends know how to use their phones?
I just found out how to play back in like 2x speed. Okay? Let me get there. Anyway, here's my voice memo.
Take my hand, you're the only one who understands. I kind of fucking hate that, bro. Oh my god. I feel crazy, can you tell?
It's so funny because when you start to do the I kind of fucking ate that part sounds like you're doing like, did you ever see is it called like Food Party or whatever?
Sausage Party?
Yeah, Sausage Party. You sound like the douche's voice. I kind of fucking ate
that, brother. Yeah, and then before you finished listening to the voice memo, you went, "You on one today, huh?" And then you went, "Oh, yep," at the end. Talk about your birthday. What'd you do for your birthday?
My sweet Tina came to visit me. We went out, cocktail lounge, had some fun, had some pizza twice. Went to EXO school, had her fall deeply further infatuated with Sehun. Showed her a bunch of Kai dancing videos, and now he's her favorite dancer. Had a tiramisu cake, went to dinner.
Tiramisu cake.
Just kind of vibed, honestly.
I didn't go because I wanted it to be Emba Dina time.
But we were so close.
Neo
so
twin
close.
time.
That's true. Aqua Supremacy.
Aqua Supremacy.
I gotta add to that playlist before next weekend, dog. Oh my god, I get to be in Chicago for half my life so soon.
Yippee!
Everyone cheered. That being said,
we both went to KINO show
separately in different cities.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna review KINO's show because we love that guy.
Big fan. Big Aquarius guy too. He posted, oh my god, when he was posting like pictures on his story for his birthday or whatever, and he posted a picture of him in Gahanna, Ohio at a restaurant like to get pizza, and he was like super excited, and I was like, not fucking Gahanna. I should have screenshotted it so I like knew what the pizza place was so I could be like, KINO was here. Wow, why didn't I fucking do that? I'll just look up pizza places in Gahanna and I'll just go to every single one. I would recognize the box. I knew what the box looked like. He got wings too. I saw him. He's just such a guy. Like, he's such a like fun little guy.
Mm-hmm. And he's so nice.
Nice. You got to actually like be one-on-one with him.
Yes, it was a good time. About a month ago, one of the producers at my job forwarded me an email that had KINO's name in it and said, "Soul, are you a fan? Should I book them?" And I said, "Yes, that would be nice." And then he came on the show, and I walked in after he was already like in the studio, and one of the other producers was in there. He had nothing to do with the segment at all, but he went to school in Korea for a little bit. So he was like, "I wanted to introduce myself and see if I still got it." And I said, "Cool. Good for you, dude." And so he was already in there. And of course, because I like to feel good about myself whenever we have guests that I like, I put on a wee bit of makeup. And he looked at me, he goes, "You look cute. You like this K-pop guy?" And I said, "Maybe." And he immediately, like, KINO was having a conversation like with his staff, and like they were talking about like what they were gonna do in terms of like lighting and like where he's gonna stand and like all this stuff, like just kind of doing like a little pre-show set meeting, whatever. And producer guy next to me goes, "Oh, okay, you want to meet him?" And I said, "Well, I have to put a mic on him at some point." And he just goes, "KINO, this is Soul. She's a fan." And I went, "Nice to meet you. How's it going?"
Great introduction.
Yeah. And he just interrupted everybody, went, get out across the studio. I went, thank you. But that was really funny. And then KINO immediately walked up to me and he shook my hand. He went, nice to meet you. I'm KINO. I said, I know.
He's so cute.
He's adorable. And then his staff was really, really cool. Shout out Teresa. I love you.
Michael. Shout out Michael.
Shout out Michael, his sound guy. And I forgot one of his manager's names, but he was the one that was talking to me constantly. And one of the managers was like, so you know of KINO? And I said, yeah, like I've listened to, Pentagon for a little bit, and then like I like his solo music. And he's like, oh, that's really cool. And he's like, who's your bias? And I said, in Pentagon? He's like, no, just like in general. And I said, oh, ATs. And he's like, oh, I know ATs. And I went, yeah. And I went, yeah, is my bias. And he goes, I know. And I went, no, you know from ATs is my bias. And he went, oh yeah, I know him. I said, cool. That's nice.
You know him? You know him? Know him?
You know him? Know him? But then he went and he got changed in the green room, came back, practiced for a little bit with the lighting that he chose. And when they were setting up the lighting, there was like different options, but the way that they set up the lighting is the person that sets them up is in a different room. So it's very hard to like do changes on the fly. And so he like would come in, be like, this is option 1, and then go back into the other room and then come back and be like, this is option 2. And so then KINO and his staff would like look at me and they'd go, what do you think? And I went, from a fan perspective, I like the other one. I think the other one is really cool. It's something different compared to the other things that we've done before. And the other producer that was there, he also agreed. And he's like, yeah, it's very different. I feel like we've had a lot of performances on this where it's like colorful and cool, but this one is like you're singing like a ballad. So
did he do Skyfall?
Yes. No, he did Skyfall. And then the producer was like, yeah, since you're doing like a ballad, I feel like the more low-key lighting is very cool and gives it a little bit of a flair because you don't have your piano here and you just got a microphone and a chair. So you got to work with it.
Did he do the version of Skyfall that he did at the concert, or did he just do the version that like he normally has?
He just did the version that he normally does. Yeah, not the concert one, unfortunately, because we didn't have a keyboard, which we found out day of. Hey, we actually do have a keyboard that he could have used, but it was already too late at that point.
Sad.
Yeah, but yeah, he rehearsed, and then after he rehearsed, I was like, oh man, I have to put a microphone on him. And so I went over to him and I said, hey, I have to put this microphone on you for the interview. And he goes, oh, okay, go ahead. And so I put the lav pack on his pants, and then I gave him the front part of the microphone, and I said, can you run this up your shirt, please? And then he's like, huh? And I went, well, it's supposed to go here. So, and I was totally cool the entire time. Shout out to Teresa once again. Teresa was like, are you going to the show tonight? And I said, I do not have tickets because I am going to be so real with you. I'm kind of strapped for cash. And she goes, nope, totally get that. Do you want to go to the show tonight? And I said, why, yes.
You said you have fallen for my trap. Thank you.
It wasn't a trap, but I was happy that she offered. And I was like, yes, I would love to go. And so I immediately texted anybody who was awake. And I said, who want to go to show? Anna said yes. Tara said yes. And I said, cool. Can I have me plus 2, please? And she goes, yes, of course. And she was just super, super sweet. And we were chatting.
I put my happy ass in that car and came.
I told her about our podcast. And I was like, yeah, so I have, kind of a K-pop podcast. It's called Cherry Notes. And she goes, that's a cool name. I said, thanks. And then I gave her, I made a little QR code on my phone because we don't have any business cards yet. And I said, here's the QR code. And she immediately followed the podcast. And I'm like, so Teresa, if you're listening to this, I miss you.
I miss you.
I miss you. She is also the producer of a K-pop podcast, and it's called Ultimate Bias. And it's had ZB1, The Boys. It's had like everybody. And she literally was like, oh my God, I have a K-pop podcast too. Like when I told her about Cherry Notes, and I went, that's awesome. And then she goes, do you know the podcast Ultimate Bias? And I said, that's you? And she goes, well, I'm the producer, but yes, that's so awesome. But yeah, so after that, we went to the show. It was awesome. It was a pretty small venue. but there had to be like 200, almost 300 people there. I don't know the exact count, but it wasn't packed. It was really cool. Like it probably had to be one of the best solo shows that I've been to in a long time. Like I went to IM's concert and I was like, sorry, IM, this one takes it.
I know I told you guys this, I think, but it really just like felt like you were like hanging out with him.
Exactly.
Like I told Sheena at one point that I was like, this just feels like we're at like a fan meet and he's like singing a little bit.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I was just like, this is so fun. Like everything he said, I was like, this feels like stand up almost. Like he's so funny. And he's just like
hilarious.
That video, I can't not smile and giggle like an idiot when I watch the video I have of us singing happy birthday to him and then him doing the OHIO chant and then going, ah! He's just so freaking adorable. And like, I personally feel like he is better off as a solo artist. I feel like his stage presence and stuff is so much to be restrained by being in a group dynamic. And I think like he has such an artistic vision for himself and his own music. And I don't know if he said this at your show, but he was talking about how like he was super worried that like when he came out with solo music, no one would care to listen to it, or like, and then I think that's when he started to get really emotional, was when like people were constantly like singing along and like everything, because like during the last song he was like really choked up and like he would not get off that stage. Like he was like milking every last second that he could, and he just kept being like, I really don't want to leave, like this is one of the best nights ever and I really don't want to go home. And like he's like, I'll be back, Ohio, like I promise I'll be back really really soon, and like made us all do like little pinky promises up in the air and like whatever. He was just so sweet. And I was so excited when he was doing Pentagon songs, like Call My Name. I was like hype as hell. And then Cerberus, because I fucking love that song.
Cerberus rock version, insanity, and it got a little nasty in there, and I did not expect that at all. He is a star all on his own.
He's got the idol and the idol rock star combo. And I like the diversity in his solo music alone. Like I wrote that too. Like he had like, cause he did like the jazz arrangement of Skyfall, and then he had like his rock versions, and then there was just like the true like pop stuff, and there's like R&B. Like he just be making whatever music he wants, and I love that. The last song that he played that was like so sad, the saddest song I've ever heard. I know he's like releasing it soon, but it was very special.
It was nice to hear that all on our own and to enjoy that. And there were these like two girls in front of us that you can tell were huge Pentagon fans, and they loved him. And they were just like jumping up and down the entire time without being obnoxious. I know that like some people can like be having such a great time that they don't care about anybody else around them, like concert etiquette. But they were having such a fun time all on their own, and they were like interacting with him and like just seeing him interact with them. And he's like, I saw you at the last show, blah, 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 like that kind of thing. And I'm just like, that's awesome.
I just thought about when he was literally 2 inches away from me, because he said he was on stage, and then I just hear him. He's like, okay, guys, I'm going to go back there. And everyone's like, what? And he's like, and then he like is about to go down the down the stairs. And then he came back and he was like, okay, I just want to make sure like everybody like be safe, keep your distance, no boundaries, like be careful, like blah, blah, blah. And then he sure enough, came right down, walked right in front of me. And I was like,
hopped up on the
right
bar.
There. I love that. I think that's like the first video I showed you guys from the entire night, like in the group chat. I was just like, he's right here. He's right in front of me. And then the picture I have of him being like
looking right into your camera.
And I was like, yes, good. But yeah, great show. Had a lot of fun. He's the sweetest.
Everybody should listen to his music.
When Freaky Love came out, he was like on the streets with a billboard, like a poster board, sitting on the curb, being like, listen to my music. And I remember, I know I have it. I know I have the tweet where I was like, everyone needs to fucking listen to this song. But like, he's just been doing it. Like, he's making it work.
Mm-hmm. And like, I also loved the fact that the whole show, like, and he also like kind of explained it after he finished the first 3 songs or something like that. But he said that he grouped the songs specifically for a different state of mind.
Oh yeah, did he tell you like what each phase was called when he was doing it?
Yes, but I don't remember what they were called.
Oh, okay. It was like it was sweet because it was like, oh, like I don't know, energy, and then there was like a part about happiness, and then there was like the reflection part, and like he literally like grouped them in like emotions, which is so Aquarius of him because that's how I make my playlist. That's how I make my playlist. If you ever listen to a playlist made by me, that's not the Cherry Picks playlist, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You better not press shuffle.
It's perfectly curated to play in the order that it's supposed to be in.
Correct.
Earlier this week, I mic'd up a woman, and Ruth, if you're listening, I love you.
Ruth.
You're awesome. But I put a microphone on this woman because she came in to talk about uke club because she plays the ukulele really well. And I went to go put the microphone on her, and she goes, "Do you listen to K-pop?" And I went,
"How you clock me?"
"How'd you get me like that?" I said, "Yes. Yeah, I do, actually." And she's like, "Do you know Taemin?" And I said, "Girl, how do you know Taemin?"
You're like, that's my best friend.
I'm like, "Me and Taemin like this." And I think I literally did that. I went, "Ruth, me and Taemin are like this. Like, I love Taemin." And she goes, "Yeah, so when you told me to put the microphone like up my shirt, it reminded me of like Guilty, like when he does the," I was like, yeah. And then I told her about the podcast, and she got so excited. And I also told her, I was like, "It's a shame that you aren't here tomorrow because do you know Pentagon?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know Pentagon." And I went, "Well, Kino's going to be here tomorrow." And she's
our
like,
good friend Kino.
And she like stumbled back a little bit. She's like, "Oh my God." And I went, "I'm so sorry to tell you that." But yeah, she was awesome. And it made my day. I think we invite Ingrid as a guest.
To speak on the show?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Hey everybody, this is our intern.
We have to talk about Paradise by Psychic Fever.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Best song ever.
Ingrid is feeling something.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the music video, where there is just like, sorry, I'm trying to cook. It was a good music video, visually.
What do you mean by that? What part specifically?
Speak on it.
Very, very good wardrobe choices.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Right.
I can see that.
Right.
Or lack of.
That's where I was getting. Where was Kokoro's shirt?
His
His shirt. SHIRT. Did I spell that right? Wait.
You did good.
You sure did. You sure did.
Sorry, guys. I've been at work all day. Jimmy too, right?
Yup.
Very Silk Sonic-esque, though. That one setup. I remember Soul was like, they got Bruno Mars on their mood board.
It's because I think somebody on Twitter literally went, Kokoro went into that meeting with a Bruno Mars mood board and a gun and said, "Give me this right now." And you know what? It worked.
Mad respect.
I just thought it was so cute when Wisa was doing the weather, and all 7 days were like each of the members' birthdays were like the highs and lows of the weather.
I didn't even notice
we clocked that on the second watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jimmy's like phone number is his birthday at the end.
It's like
0226.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant they like doxed him. They put his phone number in the music video.
He said 678-999-8212, baby.
Ring on the phone. For real.
They better play that at the after party.
Listen.
Kiss Me Through the Phone. I'm talking about Kiss Me Through the Phone.
Oh, right. Well, that too.
Hotline into Kiss Me Through the Phone.
Into Fantastic
Baby.
Into Hotline Bling.
Into Hotline
but not
Bling.
By Drake.
Right.
Right.
Like we got like a Pop Goes Punk version of it.
Right.
I'm certain we do.
There has to be.
It's about that time we talk about Psychic Fever.
It's Psychic Fever hour, if you will. You know how most of their music is like really versatile, I guess?
Yeah.
It's not just one genre. I hope they do like a rock song. I just thought about the Fire music video.
Sprite's Apple Box.
Sprite's Apple
Box.
Y'all ever hear a song dedicated to you on the radio by Sprite's Apple Box? That's me.
Oh man. But guys, we have to take pictures with them.
Hey, shut up.
For those of you that don't know, we have Psychic Fever fan frames.
Yippee!
We're terrified. We're
M's
so
face. M's face says it all. I feel like I've brought this up in the group chat like 8 times. What am I gonna say? Like, do I just go
You
up
said-
there?
You said konnichiwa, click, it's over.
scared.
Because it's like, what do I say?
I'm literally gonna go, big dog.
Like,
That's
I'm
all I got in me.
scared.
I'm hoping that bottle of soju that's in my veins is gonna carry me through that 30-second interaction because
I'm gonna need that ashwagandha gummy.
that glob,
That glob.
that ashwagandha glob.
Ingrid said that in order to get through the Psychic Fever fan frame, that she was going to take her bottle of ashwagandha gummies and just melt it down to one big glob and just keep chewing on it the rest of the night to get through that whole show.
That and the after party.
Yeah. And then if any one of us gets nervous, Ingrid said, "Do you want a bite of ashwagandha?" That L-theanine gonna make you lock in.
I'm gonna be so normal at Psychic Fever.
For a second, I didn't realize you were saying the drug name, and I was like, "Who's Althea?"
Now, who is Althea? Althea's gonna be our best friend at Psychic Fever.
Me and Althea like this.
Right.
Like this. Okay, should I carry her like in my pocket? But like if I do, like the warmth from my body.
Yeah, the she gonna be fuzzy. I got a lint roller. I always keep one on me though. Lint rolling your glob of drugs.
It's gonna look like a puffle from Club Penguin.
R.I.P. Club Penguin.
What a fun time.
That game taught me so much about Mancala and the stock market
I was a black belt in the dojo, man.
and how to operate a pizza shop. This is a fun segment. How about we read our most recent Google searches?
Okay.
Okay, so here's mine. Ready?
Yeah.
Our last night Kendrick Lamar cover. Our last night N-word. S to N MBTI. Brussels sprouts air fryer. Tiger Woods big dog gif. Extradited. 2002 Oscar Best Picture.
I was posting a bunch of things on Depop, so I wanted to know like what they're worth because I didn't recognize any of the like labels. So there's a lot of Peggy Martin dress, Tahari, Focus 2000 hoodie, David Lynch, R.I.P. Big Dog, and hair salons near me.
Let's hear hydraulic press.
All right. We got Renjun keychain.
Injolmi?
No, just Renjun keychain.
Yeah, Injolmi. His character?
No, just I wanted a keychain that said Renjun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Etsy. Chipotle order information or confirmation. Chipotle checkout. Chipotle order now. Oh wait, we're talking Google strictly. Shit. Okay, wait. Y'all, scratch that. Scratch that. I'm reading you my search history.
This is your search history.
These are URL.
Okay.
These are
Okay.
URLs.
She said HTTP.
Y'all, I'm sorry. Okay.
Could you imagine? Hold on. Could you imagine typing into Google Chipotle order confirmation?
Okay.
Okay.
Lock in. S-Coops. S-Coops
Right.
again. This is so... Can I put on my LinkedIn that I graduated summa cum laude? Human hair, green wig. Green wig, sailor dress. Square neck, corset top.
Human hair green wig is so funny. Oh my god.
It's the S-Coops on there twice for me.
Scoops.
No, because I scrolled down and I also had Jungwoo height, Jungwoo MBTI.
He a long boy.
Yeah, you're like 5'11".
Yep.
That was good.
Chipotle order confirmation.
Imagine Googling.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine typing in confirmation. We're keeping that. That's gold.
That's gold.
I feel like we haven't talked about Psychic Fever enough.
All the homies gonna be at Psychic Fever.
All the homies.
We said this in the last episode, but we're gonna be celebrating Ren's birthday at the after party.
Happy
It's gonna
birthday,
be
Ren.
awesome.
Happy birthday.
You know what is my deepest regret? As in, I won, but at what cost? Wario meme with the sky in the background. I should have gotten the Ryushin fan frame.
We know.
We told you to.
I know, but I was like,
I tried to bribe you.
We sat there for like 10 minutes while it was the last one available.
I was like, do I really want to drop $30 on an inside joke?
The inside joke being that when we first started watching Psychic Fever content together, anytime Ryushin would pop up and just be like, "Hi guys," and I'm like, "That's Ingrid. That's Ingrid." I feel like if we put the two of you in a room together and you like touched fingertips, like the world would explode. And then the fan frame opportunity came up, and we said, "Ingrid, please." But alas,
I fumbled.
it's okay. You'll still be in the same room as him.
Right. Ryushin, if you're listening to this, let's take a selfie together.
He also has an option.
You're both standing in the same corner awkwardly, and you go, "Want a bite of Althea?"
That's its name. Althea.
He actually just finished his Althea, and he was looking for more.
We pass it around
He's
like a blunt.
fiending for that Althea.
Nightmare Althea rotation.
It's just me and Ryushin. Will we have Althea by the end of the night, though?
She gone.
She gone.
We're splitting that in 3 right before fan frames.
I need the biggest chunk. Like, I don't drink, so I'm
That's
gonna
so
need
true.
the biggest chunk.
What did you say yesterday? You were like, evil psychic fever.
Oh my
I want to
God.
do what's worse for you.
Okay, because you know what? This is great that we're making the space for me to talk about this. Uyoung cut his hair.
She got me by the balls.
Right. And I was so sad. And me and Soul have this running joke where I'm like, I know my K-pop boy don't care about me because I bias Uyoung and he's crazy. I was like, Evil Syfy be like, I want to do what's worse for you, except it's not Evil Syfy, it's just Uyoung cutting his hair.
Cherry picks.
Ingrid, would you like to participate in cherry picks?
I don't have anything prepared.
Songs that you've been listening to recently.
Okay, let me
Yeah,
go
it's
to
like
Spotify.
your favorite songs for recent times. We give Ingrid 3. Give her
Yeah.
3.
Number 1, CBZ by Busuksun. Great song. And I love Hoshi so much. Number 2, funny enough, Crazy by Le Sserafim. I have been really like getting back into my Le Sserafim era for some reason. And that song is just so good. And I think we as a society, as in me, have moved on too quickly. And then my last one would have to be Now or Never by Zero Base One.
I have some information about that song.
Okay.
Which is just my opinion.
Spill.
I like that song. I don't think it comes anywhere near being as good as Yura Yura, but it sounds so much like a Gravity song to me that it's hard for me to like I just feel like if Gravity did that song, it would be so good. And like the song is good, but like for Zero Base One, it's just like kind of feels like a departure, and so it like didn't hit as hard as I would have liked it to. But I do feel like it is a good Japanese companion to Good So Bad.
I could see that. That's it.
Yay, Ingrid.
Yay.
Would you like to go next, Emba?
Me? Same Color as the Sun by Floor. Great song. Super cute.
May or may not have cried to it yesterday.
Exactly. I told Soul this, but it makes me feel the same way that Soft Spot by Keshi makes me feel. And it's just a very, like I love songs that try to put into words, like, indescribable feelings. Like in the song itself is like, I don't know how to say what I'm feeling, but, like, the whole song is kind of, like, a descriptor of it. Like, love that. So that's what that song is. And it's great. Scars by Nobulent, which is, like, kind of core in a way, / like, Itty Bitty by Michelle Tamer, which I sent. Until the High Wears Off by The Main, which is on that album. It was, like, a reject song off of, like, their self-titled, so it has the same sound, and it sounds similar even to, like, other songs on the album, but
Nice.
Makes Me Want You by Somber, just a good song. Everglow by KINO, another great song. I don't know. That's what I have.
Awesome. My first one is Ticket to Heaven by Scarlett D'Amour. They are a local hardcore grungy type band. I don't really know how to describe them, but they are awesome. I met all of them at Lala. They are good friends with some of my friends. But yeah, no, they're really cool, and I really want to see them at some point this year. Second one is Pop Up by Dragon Pony. They are a band that I discovered on TikTok. But no, because they've been doing some covers of like English songs, because I'm fairly certain that they're all Korean, but that whole album Pop Up is so good, and it's very like Extraordinary Heroes-esque. I enjoy them. Next one is Ease by Mishikui. I think that's how they say it. Also along the Deftones vein. Deftones, like Pity Sex kind of sounding. Very good, very cool. Next one is Underground by Five, and Five is spelled F, the number 5 VE. That song, like, they have really good music. They're a Japanese girl group, and they like this song specifically just sounds like I'm in a video game.
We love being in a video game.
I love being in a video game. I love when girls make me feel like I'm in a video game. And I put it on my gym playlist because it made me go fast.
I swear you played one of their songs when we were driving back from M's.
I think so,
it was
yeah.
Lettuce.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that
was
was because you sent that one to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing the title and I was like, I like that title. Lettuce.
And then the last one, obviously, Paradise by Psychic Fever.
Period.
And that's what's going to play us out. Thank you, Ingrid, for joining us.
Thank you, Ingrid.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's it. That's the episode, everybody. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Be on the lookout for our new website and our new logo and everything that's going to drop soon. And the next episode will probably be the Psychic Fever special.
Shout out Mo.
We love Mo.
I almost just said that.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Everything wanna make you mine.